You've probably seen those squiggly lines on an ECG before, maybe during a checkup in a TV drama or in conversations about heart health. But have you ever stopped and wondered, what do these mysterious tracings actually mean? What's the story behind those waves and why are they so important? Well, get ready, because in this video, we're diving deep into the hidden language of the heartbeat. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see the ECG in a way you've never imagined before. Imagine your heart as a well-organized company with head office and factories. Every beat of your heart is like a well-coordinated system, making sure everything runs perfectly. The cells of your heart are the workers, hard at work, day in and day out, keeping the body alive and energized. At the very top of this organization is the CEO, also known as the pacemaker. Think of it as the brilliant CEO of the company. He generates the instructions every second that keep the company in motion. And these instructions must flow smoothly, with perfect timing. First, these signals go to the head office, that's your atria, the upper part of the heart. The office staffs receive the instructions and then send down to the factories, also known as the ventricles or the lower part of the heart. The ventricles are like the powerful factories pumping blood throughout your entire body. If they don't do their job, the whole system falls apart. But how can we know if this company is operating properly? That's where the ECG comes in. It's like having a team of supervisors. When a medic attaches little sticky pads or electrodes to your limbs and chest during an ECG, it's like hiring these supervisors to observe the company's performance. They each have a different view of the company from different angles. If you see 3 electrodes on the limbs, that's like placing 6 supervisors, 1 on the right side, 2 on the left side, and 3 on the bottom side, each observing the action from their distinct viewpoint. Sometimes there are also 6 electrodes on the chest. It's like placing extra supervisors to watch the busiest departments, which are located on the front and left side. So we need extra eyes there. So how does each supervisor write the report? It's actually quite simple and all based on 2 key conditions. Number 1, when a supervisor sees the factories near him receive instructions and start operating, he draws an upward tracing in his report. This indicates that the heart cell around that area is working. Number 2, when the factories stop working and workers start to rest, the supervisor also draws an upward tracing in the report. This means the heart cells are going back to resting state after completing their task. But how do we interpret these signals? Here's how it breaks down. When the CEO sends out its orders to the head office, all supervisors see the instructions are coming toward them and they report back with an upward tracing. That's the P wave on an ECG. It's a signal that the head office, or the atrium, is doing its job. But here's something interesting. The supervisor at the top right has a different perspective. He sees that the instructions are moving away from him, so he draws downward, tracing in his report. Not everyone sees things the same way. This is perfectly normal. When the instructions reach the editor, which we call the AV node, there is a brief pause. There is no action and factories are waiting for instructions. This is represented by a short flat line in the report just after the P wave. Finally, the instructions are sent to the factories. Then, every worker at the factory starts working according to the instructions, which are sent in a specific path. When the supervisors see the work coming in their way, they report with big, dramatic spikes. But why is the spike so big in some areas? Simple. There are more heart cells working in the front and left side, so the supervisors there report larger spikes. These spikes are called QRS complex. During this time, ventricles taking charge, pumping blood with all their might. After that, the workday winds down. Everyone begin to relax and return to their resting state. This is when the supervisors report this as an upward tracing, which we see as the T wave. Everyone is winding down, getting ready for the next big instruction. But there's one last thing. You might notice a tiny bump after the T wave. This is the U wave. There are late workers or heart cells that are a little slower to return to rest, like workers finishing their shift a little late. When they return to the resting state, the supervisors notice and report as a small upward tracing. And that's the hidden story of the ECG. From the moment the orders are sent, to the hard work of pumping blood, to the heart cells resting, it's all captured in those lines on the screen. So next time you see an ECG, you'll understand the incredible teamwork going on inside your heart.